He couldn't create this universe except out of duality, because that single unmoving consciousness had to move to create vibration. So you cannot have a vibration without having an up and a down, or a left and a right. There have to be opposites for this universe even to exist. And so suffering has to be a part of joy. And the more you come to your inner self, the more you think, what's suffering? It doesn't touch me. But until you have reached that point of knowing that your truth is inside, then you will go up and down with the pendulum or whatever it is we're talking about that switches left and right all the time. The intriguing thing is that, let's say after a war, look at all the war novels that come out. Why do people want to relive it? There was one woman who went to Yogananda and had an interview with him, and she was talking about this operation she'd had. And he was saying, my goodness, did you just have this? He said, when did you have this operation? She said, 20 years ago. It sounded as if she was reliving the thing all over again. He said, 20 years and you're still suffering. But the thing is that by some strange quirk, we relish the unhappiness that we've had. We pride ourselves in it. We boast about it. And while we're going through it, we don't necessarily like it. But I remember once in New York, I bought a little dictation machine. And that night I went to Carnegie Hall. Well, when I bought it, the salesman recorded onto it to make sure that it was working, and it was working, so fine. And I went to Carnegie Hall that night, and I watched Raphael Kubelik conduct Smetana and one or two other pieces. And in the middle of this Smetana, the Moldau, there was a pause, and I thought, I wonder if this dictation machine would record something far away like that and not just my voice up close. So I waited for the movement to end, and between the movements I pushed the button. I pushed the wrong button. And I had turned it up high to make sure it would record from a distance, and the whole hall was filled with, hello, testing, 1, 2. So help me, got to 4 before I could find that stop button. And the conductor whirled around like this, and it filled the whole hall. And it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. But I can't forget that while I was feeling that embarrassment, I was still thinking, with self-congratulation, what a great story this will be. And so it is that every suffering that we've had makes for a good story later on, and we don't really suffer in the self. The soul is never touched. We define what we think things should be, and when they aren't like that, we suffer. But it's all just in the dream. It's not true. You can hit your head in a dream, and your dream head will hurt. When you wake up, there's no pain. And so it is that this life is like that. When I was young, I told you I wanted to be a playwright. I had a dream one time in which the scene went on for a while. I decided that this character wasn't helping the plot. So I went back to the beginning where he'd come in and left him out. It was fine. I liked the plot then. And one time I remember too, I dreamed that I was flying. And I thought, well, people don't do this. I must be dreaming. Am I dreaming? And I tried to reason my way out of it. And with all completely logical approach to it, I decided that I was awake. I was just doing something unusual. And a moment later, I woke up and I realized it had been a dream anyway. So this dream seems very real, but it's not. It's only a dream. In all the suffering, you never find a single saint who has found God, who then said, what a scam. All of them are grateful. All of them say it was worth every moment.